Welcome back. So the Education Department's drive to vaccinate over 500,000 school staff over the next 2 weeks starts today. So let's get an idea as to what's happening around the country. We've been in Tembisa. We've seen what's going on there. Panyaza Lasufi, the MEC for Gauteng, has just been vaccinated. Looked pretty easy. Didn't look like he flinched at all. So it looked like a very smooth, easy process. As far as I know, you have to sit and wait for about 15 minutes afterwards just to make sure that there are no immediate side effects, so they monitor you for a little bit. So I can imagine that's also what's happening with the Minister and Deputy Minister, who are all in Tembisa getting their vaccinations. But let's now cross over to other areas around the country, and we've got Lerato Fekisi. She's in Gqeberha and Palesa Moeti, who's in Bloemfontein. So I think we're going to begin with Palesa to find out how things are going there and what's happening. Palesa, give us an update. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Leanne. We're coming to you from Gqeberha Primary School here in Bloemfontein, where over 200 educators as well as assistants or supporting staff rather are expected to get the single dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. As you can see, I'm sure cameraman Thabo Katsande should be able to pan to show you the queues that started forming quite early this morning, just everybody trying to make sure that they are here in time so that they're able to be vaccinated. But obviously it's a very big day. This day came after a lot of negotiations between teacher unions as well as the education department, trying to make sure that teachers as well as supporting staff are safe amidst this pandemic. But, we'll be talking to the MEC of Education here in the Free State just to give us an update, about what is expected today. But before we get into the update, MEC Tate Magwe, I heard you mention with one of the officials that here in the Free State you've lost about 74 educators since this pandemic started. How does that make you feel? I'm sure this is the biggest loss we've had in education, in a long time in terms of, this pandemic and just how things have been panning out.
It is indeed a big loss. Not only did we lose them in terms of numbers, but we have also lost experienced teachers. And that has shaken the system. Parents did not trust schools to be safe. The teachers themselves were banking schools because it was a problem that people could still go there and face coronavirus directly. So we really want to use this opportunity to thank the South African government, the President in particular, and the Minister of Education and Health for allowing our teachers to be vaccinated second. And we can see that all the numbers are here, and many of them are here, and then and we've got about 30 centers where we'll be vaccinating today or for the next few days. And all of them, I'm told, are full. Universities now, you can go there, is also full. Bloemfontein is also full, and everybody wants to be vaccinated. But I think it is good because everybody is worried about children, that they vaccinate and go back and ensure that when schools reopen in July, most of the children should be able to go back to school. And I think this is a commitment that we are giving in the province of the Free State.
A major relief as well, I can imagine.
A huge relief, a huge relief. As you know that we have lost about 74 teachers and even learners themselves. Some of, I think about 4 or 5 learners that we have lost. And therefore it's a major relief. And that is why you see everybody's here. They are braving the cold. They are wearing their coats and standing outside. But they are all prepared to vaccinate. And I think that by far we will actually help government to reach the herd immunity by vaccinating teachers. So I think that's a clever move from government.
Do you think by next month, when primary schools go back to being fully operational, things should be a bit better? Do you think you're ready actually for that?
Our aim as a province, I know we have been given 14 days to vaccinate all the teachers. Our aim is to ensure that we vaccinate within 10 days. And then we are going also to focus not only on teachers, office-based educators, meaning people who are working in offices in the Department of Education will be vaccinating, clerks, factotums, everybody. And we have still been urging for SGBs because they also come to schools and work there. And I believe that if we have vaccinated everybody, there will be so much confidence, and people will be very, very brave to come back to school and make sure that now we teach our children. We can't afford to have learners who have got learning losses. I think these learning losses are multiplying, because children are now going to school once a week, once in 2 weeks. So that is a problem in terms of the primary school learners, because what you teach them this week, when they come next week, they've forgotten everything. And I think even in the society now, the parents are beginning to appreciate our teachers, that our teachers are the most important civil servants, second to health in the country. And that is why I'm so happy and relieved that even their unions, the leadership is here. All the unions, SATU, NAPTOSA, SAWO, all of them, they are here. We all agree that the theme here is to save the lives of the teachers, our precious resource.
Thank you very much. That is the MEC for Education here in the Free State. Obviously, they're very relieved this has come after a lot of negotiations. He himself is going to be vaccinating today, as far as we understand, as well as the union representatives and other senior officials from the Department of Education here in the Free State. With that, it's back to you in studio.
All right, Palesa, thanks very much for that update. Let's now go to Lerato Fekisi. She's in Gqeberha, and let's find out how things are going there. Lerato, are you seeing that there are teachers and educators and those that work at schools lining up there? We've been told that it's more officials that will be vaccinated today. Perhaps you've got some educators that are lining up there.
I think in Gqeberha it's a combination of both educators and also teachers. I think what's really been exciting for us here in Gqeberha is just to see the excitement. Also, I must say, a bit of anxiety. I was walking around speaking to some educators, and some are saying they're not sure if it's going to be painful or not. Some of them are still anxious. But I think generally, and people have been really waiting for this jab, especially the teachers, who I always say are so underrated in their service, because besides them and doctors, they really are the true heroes. I mean, to educate a child is no child's play. So for them to get this vaccine really means a big deal. But this morning, Leanne, I'm joined by a colleague who was here very, very early in the morning, one of the first 3 people to get the jab. And let's hear from her exactly how that went. Hi, Sissy, you've been here early in the morning to get the jab. First of all, when you're standing in line, because I'm talking to people here and some of them are a bit nervous, how did you feel before you got the jab? And then we'll speak about how you felt after.
I was a little bit afraid, but now I'm okay because I received the vaccine.
And then also, why do you think it was important for you to get the jab? And how are you feeling when you're hearing about this third wave coming and the teachers are not necessarily going to get it, but now you've got it? How are you feeling now that you've actually immunized yourself and kept yourself safe from this virus?
At least I said to myself, let me wake up and come, because I'm afraid of the third wave. I usually open the TV. On the TV, people are dying because of this wave 3.
All right. And also, obviously, you are a teacher and you know that it's important for educators to get this vaccine. Why do you think that teachers must come out in their numbers to make sure that they also protect themselves, and in protecting themselves, they protect their pupils as well?
I think the teachers must come because they can protect the educators also. I think they can come, but others are a little bit afraid, but I'm sure they will come.
And then when you got the jab, how was the experience? It's not as painful as you thought it was. How was that for you?
I was a little bit afraid when I was entering that room, but at least I'm free now. I'm out of the room. I received my vaccine.
Awesome. So there you hear Leanne, that was colleague and educator here in Gqeberha, saying that obviously at first she was a bit nervous, a bit anxious to receive the jab, but now that she's got it, she's very much excited and happy, because as an educator, she's also a frontline worker working with pupils every day, and she said it was important for her to come out, be one of the first 3 people in Gqeberha to get this jab, and she's really appealing to other educators in the metro to come out in their numbers like they have this morning to get the jab as well. So we are waiting to hear, and obviously now we're going to try to get inside and get to see people actually physically getting the jab. But we just thought that while we're waiting outside to hear from educators how excited they are about this vaccine. And as you can hear, Leanne, it is excitement. It is, I think, at last moment for them to get this JNG jab.
All right, Lerato Fekisi out in Gqeberha, keeping an eye on how things are going there. So, good to see and hear from one of the educators who did get a vaccination. A little bit nervous in the beginning, but feeling okay now, and obviously getting very worried when she sees what's happening in this third wave. So, yeah.
Indeed. And, you know, I still maintain, Leanne, you know, as far as vaccination goes, there people still have the right to refuse. It is absolutely their right. And I still believe those who are going to have it will have it, those who won't. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it really is. It's your prerogative, it's your decision. The department, of course, coming out, the minister during the press briefing over the weekend saying it's advised that you do have it, but it is absolutely not compulsory. It's still your decision whether you want to do it.
Yeah, important to make sure that people understand they do have a right. So, okay,